Slightly different format for today's video. This is all about scams, but we'll start off by looking at and discussing a few scams that I've seen in circulation right now, and finish off with a little bit of scam baiting. This video has chapters for navigation if you only want one or the other of those things. We'll start off with these scam emails. These aren't anything new. I've been receiving them in this format for years. The only part that changes is the identity of the company or service they're pretending to represent. For example, this one supposedly comes from the tractor supply company and wants to reward me for my loyalty, which of course falls a bit flat on me because I buy all my tractors from Marks & Spencer. They may be a bit dearer, but they're so fresh I would swear they were made just this morning. But I suppose if you're a loyal customer of that company, you might uncritically accept this as a genuine bonus and click the link. Here are a couple of other similar messages that are ultimately probably the exact same scam underneath. I wasn't ever likely to click this in earnest, especially as I had to dig it out of my junk folder just to talk about it here, but I tried to investigate this link by visiting it on a disposable virtual machine. Unfortunately, by the time I did that, which was only a matter of hours after receiving the email, the link had already become inactive, probably as a result of the scammers reacting to being flagged as malicious. The way these spam and scam links typically work is that they go through a series of redirects before you actually land on the scam webpage. Since that's the part the scammers have invested most effort in creating, they protect it from getting taken down by deliberately breaking those redirects either after a set period of time or when they know that the first link in the chain is being treated as suspicious by organisations that list those sort of things. When that happens, they can preserve the actual payload of the scam by changing one of the other redirects in the chain so it goes nowhere in particular. So I wasn't quick enough to click on this and be able to tell you what it was, but it's almost certain to be either just spam that goes to some dodgy adult site or something, or a link that goes to some sort of outright malware or phishing page. The moral of the story is, I suppose, don't be too quick to click links, especially though, clicking now is what they tell you to do, is what they urge you to do. Caution is always best, but if you can't be cautious, just being late to the party offers some accidental degree of protection. Next, another oldie. Sextortion. Again, this message landed in my spam folder where it belongs, and this is a scam that's been doing the rounds for a long time but still surprises some people, so let's read it in full. I will censor just one or two parts just so the video doesn't get demonetized. Congratulations, my email address. I have to share bad news with you. Approximately a few months ago, I gained access to your devices which you use for internet browsing. After that, I have started tracking your internet activities. Here is the sequence of events. Some time ago, I purchased access to email accounts from hackers. Nowadays, it's quite simple to buy it online. I have easily managed to log into your email account. 1 week later, I have already installed the Cobalt Strike malware on the operating systems of all the devices you use to access your email. It was not hard at all, since you are following the links from your inbox emails. All ingenious is simple. This software provides me with access to all of your device's controllers, e.g. your microphone, video camera, and all on it. I have downloaded all your information, data, photos, videos, documents, files, web browsing history to my servers. I have access to all your messengers, social networks, emails, chat history, and contacts list. My virus continually refreshes the signatures. It is driver-based, and hence remains invisible for antivirus software. Likewise, I guess by now you understand why I have stayed undetected until this letter. While gathering information about you, I have discovered that you are a big fan of adult websites. You love visiting websites and watching exciting videos while enduring an enormous amount of pleasure. Well, I have managed to record a number of your dirty scenes and montaged a few videos, which shows how you and reach. If you have doubts, I can make a few clicks of my mouse and all your videos will be shared with your friends, family and relatives. Considering the specificity of the videos you like to watch, you know perfectly well what I mean. It will cause a real catastrophe for you. Also, I have no issue at all with making them available for public access, leaked and exposed all data. General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR. Under the rules of this law, you face a heavy fine or arrest. That part is just not true, by the way. That's not what GDPR is. I guess you don't want that to happen. Let's settle it this way. You transfer $1,642 US dollar to me in Bitcoin equivalent according to the exchange rate at the moment of funds transfer. And once the transfer is received, I will delete all this dirty stuff right away. After that, we will forget about each other. I also promise to deactivate all the harmful software from your devices. Trust me, I keep my word. This is a fair deal, and the price is relatively low, considering I have been checking out your profile and traffic for some time now. If you don't know how to purchase and transfer Bitcoins, you can use any modern search engine. You need to send that amount here Bitcoin wallet address. The price is not negotiable. You have 48 hours in order to make the payment from the moment you open this email. Do not try to find and destroy my virus. All your data is already uploaded to a remote server. Do not try to contact me. Various security services will not help you. Formatting a disk or destroying a device will not help either, since your data is already on a remote server. This is an APT hacking group. Don't be mad at me. Everyone has their work. I will monitor your every move until I get paid. If you keep your end of the agreement, you won't hear from me ever again. Everything will be done fairly. One more thing, don't get caught in similar kinds of situations anymore in the future. My advice, keep changing all your passwords frequently. The only thing that's different about this scam from other examples of this I've seen in the past is the tone. In the past, most examples I've seen took a sort of supercilious stance of smug hacker superiority. This one almost seems like a sort of critical friend approach. Oh, poor you got hacked by me, but never mind, let's fix this. As I've said in videos before this one, there is no credible threat here. The email is not related to anything you may or may not have been doing. The scammer has nothing. They're just relying on fear, uncertainty and doubt, and in this case some sort of social guilt, hoping that people will pay up on account of that. These scams can't be scam-baited, unfortunately, because the from address is nearly always spoofed. But people do pay up out of fear or guilt or whatever. I checked the Bitcoin address in this message, and although this one had no transactions, examples I've looked at in the past did have money going through them, and often to the approximate value being demanded in the email, indicating that people do fall into this scam. So, just to reiterate, examples of this type that threaten to leak intimate footage of you are simply empty threats. Ignore them. And if you're really worried about the possibility of such threats, stick a bit of tape over your webcam if that kind of web browsing is your cup of tea. Nextly, Parcel scam text messages. Again, nothing particularly new about this scam, but I am seeing a lot of it just lately. Mostly claiming to be from Every, which is the newish brand name for a parcel carrier formerly known as Hermes, and usually claiming that there's some reason a parcel could not be delivered. If you receive a lot of online or mail order shopping parcels, then these scams don't stand out quite as much against the background of all the other genuine notifications from parcel carriers. But spending just a few more seconds critically examining the scam messages will usually reveal them as fake. Factors like the language and tone they use, the fact that they often come from some random number, and that the link they want you to tap on bears no relation to the parcel service they claim to be. Although be careful with that one, because the scammers might use a link URL that does superficially resemble the name of the carrier company, and also genuine parcel carriers often link to parts of their system that are not at the same URL as their main public website. The two really standout attributes of this scam are artificial urgency, giving you only 24 or sometimes 12 hours to resolve a supposed address label problem, and implausible story. If there was a problem with the address label, the parcel carrier would probably be talking to the sender, not the recipient. Although sometimes the story is more plausible. For example, they might say they tried to deliver but you weren't home. Again, I tried clicking through to one of these links on a disposable VM and it went to a phishing page. Now, last time I investigated one of these, it was just a series of web forms that would accept any input without validation. And they asked for name, address, payment card details, bank details, and other personal information you should never uncritically share with strangers online. But this one seemed a bit more rigorously designed, and it did appear to be validating some of the fake information I entered, to the extent that I hit a wall when it wanted me to confirm a code that had been sent to the fake phone number I provided earlier. I don't have a burner phone in my possession at the moment, so I couldn't investigate this one any further. However, I'm certain what's happening here is that the personal information you might volunteer in this process will allow scammers to abuse your credit card and probably also scam you further when they call you pretending to be your bank, concerned about that abuse of your credit card which they actually perpetrated. And because they would have so much of your personal information that you entered into the website, they can tell a more plausible story about being from the bank, which they're not. One other side note here, whilst sometimes these sort of scam messages are sent out indiscriminately to very large numbers of recipients, I have noticed what I believe is a correlation between times when I'm expecting a parcel via a specific carrier network and scam messages purporting to be from that carrier network. My hypothesis is that information is being leaked or stolen somewhere, allowing scammers to target their potential victims more surgically, and this type of scam is easier to fall into if you are actually expecting a parcel from that specific carrier around about the time when the scam text arrives. But as always, calm vigilance is the approach I recommend. So that's the roundup of scams I've been seeing in most of my mailboxes and other channels recently, apart from emails like this one. Do you need an urgent loan to solve your financial needs? We provide a loan in the range of $4,000 to whatever that number is. We are reliable, efficient, dollars fast with a 100% guaranteed loan. Also, it gives euros, pounds and dollars. Applicable interest rate on all loans 2%. If you're interested, please contact us. Through the services provided include home improvement, credit inventor, debt consolidation loan, business loans, New Year credits, car loans. Contact us today and you'll be happy to do business with us. So, let's go scam baiting. I replied, "This is quite a stroke of luck, honestly, because I do need a loan, and I was just thinking it would be really convenient if some random stranger just emailed me to offer it. My requirements are towards the top end of your range. Please let me know how to proceed." The scammer tried to jump right to the end game, asking, "Are you ready to pay the registration fee now?" "What registration fee?" I asked. €185, said the scammer. I asked in return, rhetorically, If I had 85, would I be asking for a loan? Okay, said the scammer. Hey, that's my thing. Anyway, is there some paperwork or something? I inquired. The scammer replied, Thank you for your response, and I want you to know that without the loan organisation process fee, your loan cannot be insured, nor the company's approval to register your loan for transfer during the company's policy. Most likely that you signed to cancel your loan because without the fee, nothing can be done to approve your loan. If you're willing to accept my conditions, they will be able to proceed to sign your loan immediately. Interesting word salad. Well, I'd like to defer payment of the fee for 1 month, so let's do that, I suggested. But the scammer continued, I really appreciate all that you have saying about this loan. Believe me, I assure you that after this very fee involved has been paid and clean off your loan will be finalised into your account, because without the loan organisation process fee, your loan can't be insurance for transfer. You have to understand that very well, my good friend. You are like a brother to me, and I will never disappoint you no matter what happens. I guarantee you that this transaction will lead you to success and progress. I promise you that with all my heart, okay? And that one's a word salad with extra dressing. I did what I often do, and I took one tiny piece of that burbling stream of nonsense and took it out of context. Thank you for paying the fee. That will make it much simpler and straightforward. Shall we proceed with the contract or other paperwork now? The scammer said, Your registration fee is €185. After you make the payment, your loan will transfer back to you in 24 hours. Yes, I replied, but you've already paid and cleaned off the fee, as you said earlier. Of course, me arguing that the fee has gone away is not actually going to make the fee go away, because the fee is the only thing that matters to the scammer, who wrote, No, what I said is that the company policy says that you need to pay for your registration fee before your loan will be transferred back to your account in 24 hours. Okay, I said, but as I mentioned previously, we can defer payment of the registration fee until such time as I have funds to pay it. Trying to appear to be helpful, not desperate to get my money, the scammer asked, How much do you have to pay now so that I can help you? What does that mean? I inquired. But the scammer tried to end the conversation. You don't need the loan. If you need it, let me know. Bye? I replied, Yes, I really need the loan. That's why I'm here. Hello. So you're ready to make the payment now? The scammer presumed. I confirmed, As soon as I get the money from the loan, yes. Right now. Then. You need to pay the fee before you have your loan back to your account, the scammer explained. I counter-explained, I will need the money from the loan first so I can pay the fee. No, said the scammer. Yes, I replied. You are Nor Reed? Asked the scammer. I answered, I had one, but the wheels fell off. But that was just about enough for this scammer, who ended with, When you're ready to pay the fee, you get back to me. I see that you're not ready, bye. I retorted, You're not being very helpful, and I did try to rekindle the discussion, but this scammer had given up. But not to worry, because there was also this long and rambling email. And we've seen this scam before, so just to pick out a few highlights, it's a scam that purports to be fixing the wrongs done by scammers in the past, and in this case most likely targeting victims who've already been scammed in the recent past and are desperately hoping to get their money back. It claims that the United Nations is carrying out some sort of lottery in which they will pick lucky victims to be compensated, which makes zero sense. And of course it asks for personal information of the kind you should never share with a stranger on the internet. I replied, Okay, my name is Manuel. The scammer replied with a templated email instructing me to contact a different persona who might be just the same scammer operating a different mailbox, or might be a different scammer on a different tier in a more organised operation. Lots of urgent congratulations compensation. I said, Okay, it hasn't arrived yet, but it's dark now, so maybe it will come tomorrow. The scammer replied to ask, What is the update regarding your compensation payment? I pointed out, I would have expected that you would tell me what is the update. What is the update? You should be in a better position to update me, replied the scammer, somewhat rudely. I wrote, Be that as it may, what sort of update exactly do you wish to know? Nothing. So I said, Okay, I have an update. Still nothing. Do you want the update? I believe by now you most have received your payment, as I wait to hear from you, replied the scammer, eventually. Unfortunately, no, I said. The scammer then sent another long, rambling, obviously templated email, mostly reiterating details of the scam, but mentioning that they thought I was a gentle person who does not talk too much, and that I would not expose them, and also that they had attached an ID card. An ID card. However, there wasn't any attachment, so I decided to focus on that pointless detail, and replied, I have one or two questions. You mentioned something about an ID card, but you appear to have attached your I didn't card. Perhaps you could remedy this. Also, what's the thing about promising to expose you? I'm a family man. There followed an even more absurdly long and templated email, this time with the ID card attached, bit of a disappointment if I'm honest, and also offering me 4 different options for deliverying of my consignment trunk box, presumably filled with money or something, to my doorstep. I replied, You seem to have made this very complicated. Please can you simplify it? The scammer actually obliged my request and sent a simplified version of the email, still promising delivery of the trunk box to my doorstep and still offering 4 different options as to how this would supposedly be done. In case you're wondering why this illusory choice is offered, after all, there is no trunk box filled with cash disguised as inconspicuous gold bars. Illusion of choice is a technique used by salespeople and other scammers to create a false sense of control. The customer or victim may become more confident in proceeding once they have made what they believe to be a choice. It's a whole thing. I'll link to a relevant article about it in the video description. Anyway, I asked, why are there so many options, 4 options, and they all have so many things, 4 things in them? This is still too complicated. Can you simplify it? Why don't you choose an option and tell me about it? The scammer, to my slight surprise, fell right into my baited trap and suggested option 4. The total amount of money you're to pay is $499. That is the total cost of delivering the consignment to your address at your doorstep via post office delivery. I believe you must have understand it all. But as I say, this was an intentional play from me so that I could respond, no, not that one. The scammer asked, which one do you want? I replied, I don't know. Why are you making this so difficult? Which one is best? I was aiming for another round of, no, not that one. But the scammer started to lose patience and shouted, there is nothing difficult here. I have given you the breakdown. I said, if nothing's different, why are there options? Even a kid can understand, yelled the scammer. I mean, talk about feeding me a line. Well, I'm an adult. Why are you trying to tell me things that only children can understand? Are you a small boy? The scammer continued, the options are for you to choose your choice of delivery to your doorstep. Okay, I said, but why? Also, why are you typing in big angry text? Is something wrong? Nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong, responded the scammer, a little bit sullenly. I'm glad to hear it, I said. Did your big letter latch get stuck or something? No reply. So is the new doorstep arriving today? Do I need to do anything about removing the old one? Still nothing. Hi, I had to nip out to the local shops, which are quite a long way away. When I came back, there was a Parcel Force card on the door saying I'd missed a delivery. Did you try to deliver the doorstep while I was out? You could have just left it under the door, that's where it goes. But that appears to be the end of the road again, although, as always, I did keep trying. And that's all we have for today. I hope this has been both fun and useful. Thanks for watching, stay safe from scams, and I hope to see you again soon.